let's take a look at our top selections for the...
Hi, everyone. The feature race on Saturday at Santa Anita is the Grade 2 Buena Vista Stakes, fillies and mares at 1 mile on grass. And just a quick review of the last three winners. Last year, Keeper of the Stars paid $74.20 winning the Buena Vista. She would come back 3 months later and win the Grade 1 Gamely Stakes. 2 years ago in the Buena Vista, it was Basilica paying $3.60 as the odds-on favorite. She also would come back to win the Grade 1 Gamely 2 starts later. And 3 years ago in 2018, Fault paid $26.20. She would follow up her win in the Buena Vista by winning the Grade 1 Santa Margarita. So the point I want to make is that the last three winners of the Buena Vista have gone on to more important races, at least more important as far as their resumes go. All Grade 1 winners after winning the Buena Vista. This is a race, the Buena Vista, that is, there's really no specific pattern. It's been won by long shots, by chalk, an eclectic bunch of winners. It's a race that kind of has become one of the hidden gems of the Santa Anita Winter Meet. And I say that because over the last 10 years, the average field size for the Buena Vista, 9.4 runners per race each of the last 10 years on turf. There was 1 year it got rained off and the field was small, but this race, the Buena Vista, often attracts a big field. It's a 1 mile grass race that's been won by sprinters such as Ms. Direction in 2013. That was after she won her first Breeders' Cup turf sprint and before she won her second Breeders' Cup turf sprint. So sprinters can win the Buena Vista. Remember that, because we have a very important sprinter to be talking about in just a minute. This year, actually, or this race, I should say, has been won by comebackers, by horses coming in off of a layoff, horses making their first start in California. And this year, one of the favorites happens to be a sprinter, and the other co-favorite happens to be the top filly mare grass runner based in California. And other than those two, and we'll talk about them, this field is relatively straightforward. So let's go ahead and take a look. A field of 10 entered the Buena Vista. It's race number 7 on Saturday at Santa Anita, and a very deep field. There's graded stakes winners through and through. The sprinter I was referring to is number 8, Charmens Mia. The top filly mare grass runner in California is number 2, Mucho Unusual, but Warren Showtime is a graded stakes winner, albeit a age-restricted graded stake. Red Lark, she won the Grade 1 Del Mar Oaks last summer. You have a lot of others that are stakes placed and or fillies and mares that have run races that suggest they can be competitive in the Buena Vista. A deep field of 10, and we're going to start talking about one of the long shots that I respect, and then we'll gravitate up toward my top choice in the race, which I unfortunately think is not all that creative. I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to share my sentiments with regards to my top selection in the Buena Vista. But let's first start talking about a couple of fillies that are coming out of the Grade 1 American Oaks. It was on December 26th at Santa Anita, 1.25 miles for 3-year-old fillies of 2020. And the runner-up in the Grade 1 American Oaks was Going to Vegas. And the 4th place finisher was Red Lark. Let's take a look at the stretch run of the American Oaks on December 26th at Santa Anita. And that's Going to Vegas in the red cap on the outside and Red Lark coming from behind. Going to Vegas finished second with a great trip, and she benefited by the race flow. Meanwhile, the come from behind her, number 1, Red Lark, did as well as she could under the circumstances. Going to Vegas finished second, and like I said, she benefited from the race flow. The 1, 2, 3 finishers in the American Oaks were all forwardly placed runners. They ran 1, 2, 3 all the way around, and Going to Vegas was a long shot in the race, and she took advantage of the situation, and she finished second. In fact, Going to Vegas, since being claimed for $50,000, she already has made $118,000. So they're already out on the claim. A terrific job by trainer Richard Baltus. But the filly who actually ran a sneaky good race in the American Oaks is Red Lark. If pace setters dominated the American Oaks, and they did, then come from behinders, it follows, would be compromised, correct? Yes, they were. And Red Lark rallied from next to last She finished fourth. She had no chance under the race flow conditions. Speed dominated. Red Lark is a come from behind her, and she did as well as she could to finish fourth. I respect her. She's my fourth preference in the race, and you'll probably notice that Drayden Van Dyke, who's been the regular rider for both Red Lark and Charmens Mia, is on Red Lark. And the fact that Van Dyke is on Red Lark does not mean that he likes Red Lark better than Charmens Mia. By the time Charmens Mia was committed to the Buena Vista, Van Dyke's agent at the time had already given away the call to Patty Gallagher, the trainer of Red Lark. So that's why Van Dyke is on Red Lark rather than Charmens Mia. Okay, let's talk about a California bred that I respect. Her name is Warren's Showtime. She's by Clubhouse Ride. She's a daughter of the Grade 1 winning mare Warren's Bonita. Both Clubhouse Ride and Warren's Bonita were trained by Craig Lewis. Craig Lewis also trains Warren's Showtime, who is 0 for 5 in sprints. She is 6 for 11 around 2 turns, but her most recent start was actually a lot better than it looks. Let's take a look at the stretch run of Warren's Showtime last time out. It was in the Sunshine Millions filly and mare sprint, and that's her near the back of the field, and she's going to kind of weave through traffic. The winner of the race led gate to wire, and Warren's Showtime, she was never really in the hunt, but she did finish with run because she always does, and she actually ran well in defeat. And the reason she was so far back off the pace is she got slammed pretty good right out of the starting gate. She was a lot farther off the pace than her jockey, Juan Hernandez, would have planned or wanted to be. And she finished with run. But as I mentioned earlier, that was a sprint. Warren's Showtime, in my opinion, is far better around 2 turns. 0 for 5 in sprints, 6 for 11 around 2 turns, and she'll be running late. And I suspect, and at least I hope, that she kind of slips through the cracks from a parimutuel perspective. We don't know if she's good enough to win a graded stakes race against older. She's been competitive. The one time that she ran against older graded stakes fillies and mares, she was competitive. Actually, she's never run against older fillies and mares in a graded stakes, but she's won a graded stakes against her own age bracket. And we're going to find out on Saturday if she can compete with the likes of Mucho Unusual and Charmens Mia. I think that Warren's Showtime could offer wagering value. She's actually my second preference. But the filly that is the top grass filly in California right now is Mucho Unusual. And all she has done is win her last 3 graded stakes in California. Those are sandwiched around a non-competitive effort in the Breeders' Cup. But the last 3 times that Mucho Unusual ran in a graded stakes race in California, she won all 3. She won the Grade 1 Rodeo Drive last fall, and she followed this winter with back-to-back Grade 3 wins. She's seeking her 3rd graded stakes win of the meet already, Mucho Unusual. Let's take a look at her most recent start. It was January 18th in the Grade 3 Megahertz, and there were only 3 horses in the field. Excuse me, there were 4 horses in the field. And Mucho Unusual did what she figured to do. She was heavily favored at 2 to 5, and she defeated Sedamar and Brooke, who finished 2-3. A good solid win by a good, honest Calbred filly who's already a 4-time graded stakes winner. The thing about Mucho Unusual is this: even though the Megahertz was 1 mile and the Buena Vista also is 1 mile, even the connections of Mucho Unusual believe that she wants more ground than just a mile. She can win a mile race if she's the best horse, and she certainly was in the Megahertz. But can she win a 1 mile grass race against better company than she faced last time out? Well, we'll find out. Win or lose, you got to follow Mucho Unusual next month in the Grade 3 Santa Ana. That's March 27th at Santa Anita. And the reason, that race is 1 mile and 1/4. There was some discussion by trainer Tim Yachtin and owner breeder George Krikorian in possibly skipping the Buena Vista and just training into the Santa Ana, but they're going to go ahead and run, at least as of Thursday morning. They're going to run at a distance that is probably just a smidge shorter than Mucho Unusual prefers. But the distance is the main challenge for a filly that I expect, actually a 5-year-old mare, who's my top selection, and I suspect that she, when all is said and done, she's going to go off favorite. And I'm referring to Charmens Mia, number 8 Charmens Mia, who's California debut last month in the Grade 3 Los Angeles, so it's 6 furlong grass race, was nothing short of dazzling. She was a long shot in the field because the field included the likes of Jolie Olympica, Alexandra Lighthouse, a very good field of turf sprinters in the Los Angeles, and Charmens Mia made a mockery of the field. Take a look for yourself at the stretch run of the Los Angeles, and that's Charmens Mia, who popped the gate under Drayden Van Dyke, cruised along on the front end. They went 21-2, 43-4, and she was gone over a very good field. Now, this was a 6 furlong race, and she is stretching out to a mile in the Buena Vista. She also loses Drayden Van Dyke. As I mentioned earlier, Van Dyke had already committed to Red Lark. So the jockey assignment on Charmens Mia goes to Flavian Pratt. And if she can stay 2 turns, she'll be very tough to beat. Her trainer, Phil D'Amato, believes that she can. And that's based largely on how she has trained since her California debut. Last time out, in her most recent workout, Charmens Mia broke off behind a workmate, blasted right past. So according to D'Amato, and according to what at least I saw on the workout video on XBTV, is that Charmens Mia can, in fact, ration her speed. She was on the front end going 6 furlongs last time, and she ran them off their feet. She's going to have to slow down a little bit on Saturday in order to negotiate another turn and another quarter mile. I think she can do that. She's the fastest horse in the race. I think she's long gone with either a front running and or pace pressing trip. So ultimately, here's the way it pans out. I like Charmens Mia. I'm also prepared to sit this race out if Charmens Mia gets hammered, and she very well could. Her 98 Beyer speed figure that she earned last time out is the highest by a filly or mare on grass since the Breeders' Cup last fall at Keeneland. The highest Beyer speed figure by a grass filly or mare in North America since the Breeders' Cup. That was the 98 earned by Charmens Mia. And as we all know, high speed figures generally equal low odds. So I'm prepared to sit this out if Charmens Mia goes short. If she's in the 8-5, 2-1 range, hey, who knows? Maybe she's a single. The long shot that I like, and when I say long shot, I should put that in air quotes because I'm not sure what the price will be on Warren's Showtime, but I do know this. She will be running late. Her most recent start was better than it looked, and this is what she wants to do, run long on grass. As for Mucho Unusual, the only knock on her, well, there's actually 2 slight knocks. One is that she's better at a distance slightly farther than 1 mile. And secondly, if she's co-favorite, I just don't want any part of Mucho Unusual at a short price. So Charmens Mia on top with the front running and or pace pressing trip. Warren Showtime rallying from behind, and Mucho Unusual, who I respect immensely, but I'll be waiting to back her in the Santa Ana next month. So in the Buena Vista, it's Charmens Mia over Warren Showtime, race 7 Saturday at Santa Anita.